Well, yeah, Mama J. So, like in Alcoholics Anonymous, the first and second steps are to admit powerlessness, right? And the dependency upon a higher power. And that's called the surrender. So when you come to realize that, regardless of what you're going through in your situation, you just can't do it on your own. You can't, there's so many things that you just can't overcome, all these obstacles that are coming against you constantly. So you have to learn how to surrender to the fact that God and God alone can take care of those things. So we surrender all these situations, we surrender our addictions, we surrender our circumstances, depression, or whatever you might be going through. We surrender that and we lay it at the feet of Jesus and say, Lord, help me.
It's so true. It's just like what you were sharing earlier that we were doing in our recap on prayer about being the branch hooked into the vine. And it goes along in this aspect of surrender too, doesn't it?
Absolutely. On our own, we'll definitely mess up for that. And we obviously try to.
That's a given.
Without a doubt. So many times we've taken it, we're like, Lord, listen, I got this. Just hang loose. I got this. I can take care of this. And then what happens, you dive in and you try to take care of it, and then eventually you land up in a worse situation. You say, all right, Lord, I need you now.
I don't know if you remember, like maybe when you was younger, or maybe even now, I don't know, at her age as a teenager, it's different maybe. But when your kids are younger, and they think they can do this, whatever it is, and you sit by and let them do it, but they're just totally not going to be able to. They're just not strong enough, big enough, tall enough, whatever. But you just get joy watching them struggle through it. And then they surrender and release it, and then we get to help them in it, and then it's a mutual team effort. And in the same way, I think God just kind of like, okay, go for it. And then we realize, I can't do it. Okay, God. And he's like, thank you. Let's do it together.
I think that's the beautiful thing about the free will, Mama J, is that God, exactly like that, he steps back and goes, all right, my son or my daughter, go ahead, take a shot at it, knowing exactly how that's going to go, right? It's the same as when we have our kids and we're, do not touch that plate, it's going to burn you.
Yeah.
And they look back at you with that little look and they go like,
I know, right? You can read their mind working.
And then you look at them, you're like, I'm telling you now, don't touch it. And then they touch it, and then what happens? Oh, they break out crying and screaming. Yeah. And that's kind of like how we go. And I feel myself in that situation many times. I'm like, Lord, I got this. I don't want to, seriously, there's so many bigger things that you have to be dealing with right now, taking care of the universe. I got this little thing.
Mm-hmm.
And then, as you go through the process, you're like on your knees going, Lord, I need you. Please help me.
He said, oh, I'm glad you called. Yeah.
I think he loves it, Mama J, because he knows, and then he comes through it. He's like, I love it when my kids come back to me. I love it when they come and they realize that their strength, their joy, their peace, everything lies in me.
You're listening to the Epic Conquerors podcast. Click the link below for more.